Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to pot up and grow trees in containers and prevent them from becoming root bound. So let's get to it. So today we're going to be potting up this snakebark maple, which you can see where it gets its name from, with this beautiful bark. A good time to pot up your tree is when it's dormant, during the autumn and winter months. Wait until the leaves have fallen off, then you know it's entered its dormancy stage and it's going to be less disturbed when it's transplanted. However, it's not a fixed rule, and if it's spring or summer and you've missed that dormancy window, then you're still able to pot up a tree, as it's going to do a lot better in a new larger container with new compost, so those roots can spread out and get more nutrients and water rather than being stuck in a constricted pot for another year. So I dug this tree up out of the garden and temporarily potted it up into this potato grow bag, as that's just what I had at the time, and it's been there ever since, which is over 2 years. So this tree is well overdue potting up into a larger, more permanent container. So I've actually chosen to plant it up into these half whiskey or wine barrels or kegs, as you may think, well, they're wood, they're going to rot, but these are made of really solid hardwood and I've known them to last a very long time. They're also burnt inside to seal them, as they used to obviously hold liquid, and they've got these metal rings around them that holds it all together really nice and firm. Not only that, they're nice and wide and heavy, so I'm not going to have any worries about the tree blowing over. Now, with whatever container you've chosen, whether that be wooden, metal, ceramic or terracotta, you need to make sure that there's sufficient drainage holes in there. So just be mindful if you are drilling into ceramic or terracotta, there's the right technique to do that so they don't crack. But for this one, I'm just going to use a spade drill bit to drill holes in the bottom of this pot. These have a lovely fruity smell when you drill them out, so it's a real treat drilling them. The base wood seems to be about that thick, so they're certainly going to last a long time. Now in this pot, I've just done 5 holes there. I don't want to do too many as the pot's going to dry out too quickly, but I don't want to do too few as I don't want it to become waterlogged. But evenly spaced apart, central one and a few around the outside. So once your new container or pot is ready with the drainage holes, you can take the old pot or container off of the tree. Now I've just put a sheet down here so it can catch any of the compost or roots and debris, so it doesn't make too much of a mess. Now the trick to do this is you don't want your tree to lie down on the ground, as you're going to damage the branches and buds that are already there. If you put the weight on there, it's going to snap. So what you can do is bring in something like a wheelbarrow, just so your tree can rest on there and you can focus on trying to get the tree out of the pot without squashing and damaging the buds and branches on there. So fortunately this is going to be quite easy because it's just a bag which has a bit of give in it, so you can squash it and wriggle it around. Whereas if you've got something like a wooden pot or a terracotta pot, especially that has a thick lip that's going to stop the tree from coming out, that's where it is quite complicated. And I would suggest getting a trowel or a fork like this and digging away the soil, or loosening it and digging it away, and then almost shaking off the soil like that, and continue with that method while turning the pot round, taking soil away from the side, so the actual root ball would be then smaller than the pot and it will slide out. But for this situation, it's going to come out rather easily. If you had your terracotta pot here, sometimes there's a lip that bevels over. So what you may need to do is dig this section away, which I know can be very tricky. But you just go round, taking that section out, using various tools. Maybe a knife might work as well, to cut away that outside. So then you're creating a circle all around, which will enable that section to come out, and leaving these feeder roots around the outside left in the pot, and they can just go in the compost pile. But if you've got a tricky pot, that's probably the only way you can do it without breaking the pot. So as you saw, this one came out really easily because of the container it was grown in. Equally, if I ever need to pot it up into a larger container from this, or I want to do a root prune and put some more compost in, then this is going to be really easy to come out as the pot tapers away, because it's smaller at the bottom than it is at the top. And that might actually help you choose your container, as you know it's going to be easy to transplant or move your tree or shrub out of these sort of styles of pots. So you can see a lot of these roots were just pushed right up against the side of the bag and are starting to wrap round now, which is what's called being root bound. So by putting it in a larger pot and teasing these roots out so they're going to be straight, we're going to prevent that from becoming root bound again. And because it was in a soft plastic container, you can see how the base has become extremely compact. So I'm sure there's a lot of dead roots within there that are going to need coming out. To start your potting up, you want to put some stones or broken tiles at the bottom of your container, as this is going to help with your drainage and prevent the roots from rotting and dying like in the other one that's stuck at the bottom of the pot. So you want to put these stones here to aid with the drainage, as it's going to allow the roots to spread out and work around these rocks rather than growing down, hitting the base and bending and sitting like that at the bottom of the pot, where water can build up and the roots will just sit in the water there. So by having this, it also allows the water to run through the rocks and find those drainage holes a little bit better. Now when it comes to compost for your tree, you're going to want to use a heavier loam mix. So that could be something that you've bought which is pre-mixed, or you can make it yourself, which is what I'm going to do today, by mixing multi-purpose compost with some screen topsoil. This is because your tree will need a good soil structure so the roots can anchor down, and heavier soil also holds moisture and nutrients better and adds weight to the pot, so it will help prevent it from being blown over. Just bear in mind, if you're potting up a plant that needs acidic soil, then an ericaceous mix would be best. So you've got your compost now, you can start filling up your pot. It's a good idea to measure how high the root ball is on your tree that you're planting up. A good way to do this is to use one of your tools and put that on the ground and then hold at whatever height that is. Then transfer that to the pot so you know you can fill your soil up to about here before bringing your plant in, as you want your mark to be just below the top height of the pot, because if you fill it to the top, when you water and things, it's just going to overflow. So I've just made a little mark there so I know I can bring the soil in up to that height before bringing the plant in. Now, as I was talking earlier, I was saying about we want to prevent it from becoming root bound, which is where the roots spiral round in a circle and become matted and thick and overgrown, which is not what you want, as it becomes so overgrown that they struggle to bring nutrients in because there's more roots than compost in there. So before we pot this up, as this is starting to become root bound, what I'm going to do is what's called teasing the roots, which is where you gently loosen them up. Some will pull off, and that's okay. It's going to regrow new ones. I like to use a fork for this, whether that be a hand fork or a border fork, depending on the size. And you're just doing a little twist action to loosen up the soil there, and then effectively combing through the roots with the tines of the fork. You just want to slowly go round, loosening up all those sides, and bringing out any of those roots. So when this goes in the new pot, the roots can start growing outwards rather than continuing their cycle of growing in a circle. What you don't want to forget is to do the bottom as well, especially on something like this one where the bottom has become squashed and the roots have flattened out there. So hopefully you can see how much better that looks and how much better that's going to be for the plant in its new pot. Now this is ready to go in the pot. Don't know if you've noticed, but the tree wasn't planted centrally in the previous pot, so it's worth, when you put it into the new pot, to make sure that the tree will be planted in the centre and also straight. So previously I left this growing in a sheltered spot in that potato grow bag, purely because it dried out extremely quickly, and because of that it's got a bit of a bend in it where it's trying to grow outwards to the sunlight. So I'm going to put it in at a bit of an angle to try and straighten that out. So that is how I'm going to want to plant it. Now it's in position, it's a case of bringing in more of the soil and packing it around the sides. So first of all, I bring in the soil loosely and then get my hands in and firm it in. I wouldn't recommend putting your feet in to compact the soil. Your hands can compact it the right amount. If you over compact it, for instance, if you start using your knuckles, then the soil becomes over compact and you're not going to have those air pockets that will allow the water to run through. And naturally over time worms and bits will come in here and will help aid with the aeration of the soil and the soil structure. So you're bringing the soil level up slowly and then gently firming it in with your hands over the time. If you have any clumps of soil like that, just break those up. It's worth, when you're firming the tree in, to stand back periodically just to make sure that you're still happy with where it's sat, that it's not only in the centre of the pot but it is also straight. And if you do need to just raise it up to bring it centre, you can tilt it back and then compact it with your hands, and then it will hold in that position, and then just bring some more soil in to fill that gap. So there we have it. You want your end soil height to be below the top of the pot So when you water it, or if you want to mulch and feed it, it's not going to overflow when you do that. Also, it prevents the wind and bits blowing any of the topsoil that may be dry in the future out of the pot. So it's always good to have it a little bit below the end height of the pot. And with the actual tree, you want to make sure that the soil isn't mounded up against the trunk there. Make sure the soil is just above the original height. You can see there's a root there of where the root ball was. And that is going to be one happy tree. So one of the last things to do is to move your pot into its final position, which can be done by lying a wheelbarrow down on its side, having the pot at an angle. So you're lying the wheelbarrow on its side, then you position the pot in the wheelbarrow a little bit. You might need to wiggle it, and then rest your feet on the wheelbarrow itself, and then you're just going to lean back. Being careful not to spill any of the soil. Okay. I think this barrow's got a flat tyre. Oh well. Once you've got it near to where you want your pot to go, then same as you picked it up in the first place, tilt the wheelbarrow and let it come down. Then wriggle it to its final position. You could potentially have put a board down to slide it, however I'm more than comfortable just wriggling it across. Last thing to do with using a rose head on your watering can, water the tree in. Because a lot of the time the compost will be dry, and as you're potting up, when you're compacting the soil, if there are any gaps that you missed, then the water will wash the soil into those gaps. Now, a little bit of aftercare for your tree. During the growing seasons, it's recommended to water these a lot more often than you would if it was growing in the ground, as these pots are going to dry out a lot quicker. Another thing you can do is, coming into the spring, give it a bit of a mulch. By mulching the top layer, every time you water, the nutrient is going to get washed into the soil and the roots can uptake it. Not only that, it adds another layer on there, so when the sun comes out, it's going to have a less chance of evaporating off the top. It's also a good idea to just monitor your tree where you've positioned it, as the beauty of having them in pots is you have the ability to move them around. So if it's not thriving in the location that you've put it in, maybe it gets too much morning sun and it's burning the leaves, then you've got the ability to just move it to a different position. Also, coming into the winter, if you've planted a Mediterranean plant or something like a peach or nectarine, then I would advise either wrapping the pots up and the foliage or bringing them in to a glass house so they can overwinter. That's it for this video. Hope you found it educational and entertaining, and it's given you the knowledge to do this yourself. Don't forget before you go to do all those good things by liking, commenting, subscribing and sharing. You really help YouTube to recommend more of my videos to more people, which in turn helps me to create more videos like this one. Another thing you can do is just watch another video that I've got on my channel. There's loads of gardening knowledge on there to get your teeth into. So until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.